yourself a rapper, battle rapper, especially battle rappers, they don't fuck around. You know that, Nash. You know what I'm saying? Don't play with me. I'll burn you down too. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me know. Let me know. We could prepare this shit if you want, but I don't need to prepare. I'll burn you down, son.
Let's talk about a real rapper that dropped
Yes.
his third trilogy, Do or Die 3. AZ dropped today, and I heard the album. It is banging, but I mean, I don't expect nothing less from AZ. He has some banging tracks, and he got a couple of collabs. He has give me the world with Jadakiss. I like the track. I don't like the hook. The hook for that, you have Jadakiss singing on there, and it's like a rendition of what Nas did on "Give Me Yours" from the first Do or Die from 30 years ago. I didn't think that was needed, but I like the track. I just wish that Kiss had a verse on there. He's just on the hook. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, when you have Kiss on a track at this point now, you gotta. He's like the feature man. You gotta have a Hot 16 from Jada, and he didn't have that unfortunately on the track. He has Manu Fresh on the first single, So High, was dope. He has Nas on Surprise. I think that might be the next single. I saw they have a lyric video for that. But the production from Static Selector, I really like the beats on that. Buck Wild, N.O. Joe is on here again. N.O. Joe was on the first album. You have Ron Browse, Eat the Boy, Bink, Mike and Keys. Lost Professor is on here. K-Def. I really enjoyed the album. I think this hopefully is a great ending to a trilogy that nobody asked for, really.
Yeah.
Part 2 was okay. I don't think it was great, but he
made
us wait like damn near 20 years. He made us wait damn near 20 years for part 2. Right? He was dropping singles left and right, and a lot of those singles didn't even make the album. Right? Yeah. Part 3, I didn't think we was gonna get a part 3 for this, but it was good. Hopefully, this is the end to this series with AZ. I think AZ is the most underrated MC from New York City, and I would love to see him and Nas do that album. Hopefully, we get that this year. But this was a good album. It was solid. Like I said, he's always had a great ear for beats. The lyrics are on point. The songs, but I was surprised. He had Jadakiss on here, and he's only on the hook, and he's singing. Yeah, you're not even. That's not like Jadakiss to be singing on anybody's song. So I just thought that was weird. And you're doing over the hook that Nas did on the first album. So I just thought that was weird. But it's a solid album. I like the intro and the outro, and definitely gonna be bumping this. And I listened to Action Bronson Planet Frog album. Very dope album. Like he's been doing these last couple of albums where he's like naming his albums after animals. He had Coco Drillo, was like a crocodile type of theme for that album, and he had White Bronco a couple years ago. Action Bronson, he's still dope. He has a song called Peppers with Rock Marcy. There's a video out now for that. That's fire. I think he makes a lot of his great collabs with Rock Marcy. Would love to see them do an album together. He had a couple of nice songs too, but it's a different sound from him now compared to when he first came out, when he was dropping, Blue Chips and the Mr. Wonderful album and Dr. Lecter album. But I fuck with it though. It's definitely some bang tracks in it.
Yeah. I haven't heard Action Bronson's, so I have to go check that out. I've been listening to AZ all day. Actually went back. One of my favorite tracks on there, I don't know if you probably caught it because Do or Die, one is Still Jackie.
Yes, I love that.
I loved the fact that he took it to now it's the daughter basically doing the same thing that her mother did. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was a dope little circle back around because now it's an older he's older, and then at the end it shows, hey, that's gonna be my baby daddy. I've had a crush on him since I was a kid. So I just like that whole that was probably one of my favorite little hidden gems in there. But for somebody new who actually took the time and doesn't really know Do or Die or Do or Die 2, Part 3, That's Still Jackie, is from his first album called Jackie.
Yes.
The song Jackie.
That was
and it's one of those joints from back in the days that was just absolute fire. You know what I mean? And it just explains basically how women will do you. You know what I'm saying? Like they just out there for the bread, talking hood women. We're not talking all women. Please don't interpret it like that.
Right.
But it was just a nice little continuation how he took it 30 years later, and we're talking about the daughter and following in the same footsteps, and even the intro before that leading into the song is dope as hell as well. Yeah. Because the woman who I was guessing is Jackie was saying about all the different women that she got working for her and how they take down ball players, they take down rich dudes. And I thought it was a very, very clever hidden gem, a little gem on his part. But yeah, definitely a dope album. I don't like to call anything a classic.
Right.
To me, I really got to sink it in, and then 5-10 years later from now, is that same feel still gonna hold up? You know how it is when we listen to Do or Die, or Nas's first 3 albums, or things like that. Iron Man, all these older albums that we can go back to and still catch that relation. And most of the time, for underrated MCs, you go back to Do or Die. I'll let you guys know, if you don't really fuck with AZ and you don't understand why they call him an underrated rapper, is you'll still catch shit from back then that went over your head. Right. And you'll come back and be like, oh shit, because now you're in an older state of mind, and you'll understand, like, oh damn, okay, now I get it. But yeah, I gotta say, Jada and Nash brought it, Mark brought it up earlier, is why would you just waste Jada like that?
I don't know. And why have him sing on the hook, and he's doing over the Nas hook from Give Me Yours? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And I also didn't like it's a short album, like 13 joints. Well, I missed the day of 3 verses and 2 bridges. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, it's just not like that anymore. It's a quick 2 16s per song with a hook and the beat dying out. I miss that. Having a minimum of 50 minutes was like the minimum,
right?
Enough to fill up one side of a recorded tape, on a whole album. You don't get that anymore nowadays.
There's a fake narrative. Like, there's a fake narrative out that this generation has a short attention span. I don't believe that. I feel like that's an excuse, because if that's the case, what does that say about the older heads? Do we have a short attention span where we can't listen to a 20-track album anymore?
Yeah, I look forward to that, but I know even his last album that AZ dropped last year, right at the tail end of last year, it was dope, but it was 24 minutes long.
Right.
Now you take out, I think there's like a intro, and then there's like something in the middle. You're looking at like a 21-minute album. 21 minutes, 11 tracks. It needs to be longer.
See, I love, like, the Clips album. They gave us a lot of good songs. The Nas album, same with that. I think it's the easy way out when they do like an album and then it's like 9 songs. That's not an album to me. That's an EP. Like, back in the day, they had albums that was like 9 songs, Thriller, Purple Rain, and all that. But I feel like we've come a long way. Like, when Redman would drop, he would drop 20 plus tracks on every album.
Yeah. And again, even when they were dropping just 9 albums, you got to think back then with Prince and Mike, each one of those songs was over 3.5, 4 minutes. Mm-hmm. So you're still getting a full serving. You're still getting a full breakfast.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're satisfying that hunger. And, 30 minutes on an album with 13 tracks, that's the only thing that really bothers me nowadays about hip hop, is that it's such a short, quick, bang bang. I can only give you 2 verses because the attention span, like you said, it's just an excuse.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, you want to get into what I know you came here for?
Yep.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about WWE, and I'm going to have Triboro throw out some predictions. I'm also going to put a link in here if you want to jump on and join us. I'm going to throw it under Movie AV Impulse, and I'll leave the link down below. You want to join, let us know. But I have to ask, with all of the recent things, do you think the tag team division of WWE is slowly making its way out the door?
I think it's already there, at least for the SmackDown roster, because when they made all these cuts last week, half of the cuts were like all the tag teams. Like they sent the Street Profits to Raw. Street Profits might be like the only. Well, I don't say only. They were like the best on the SmackDown roster, and now they're on Raw, right? And they're kind of like involved in that storyline with Seth Rollins and the Vision. You know, the Wyatt Six. They made they made it like an importance to bring them back after Bray died, and bringing back the whole stable, and adding Nikki, and at the time when they wanted to bring back Alexa, that never happened, and they let Alexa go become a tag team with Charlotte. They won the championships, but the tag team division is just bad. It just sucks. Like the Usos, the Street Profits, to me are like the best on that. The New Day, they got rid of New Day, and I love New Day. And at least of like if you break up New Day, why not just keep Kofi? Kofi's a veteran. Like he's won every major title. It took him like 11 years just to win the world heavyweight title. How do you let a talent like that leave? You know what I'm saying? That you know what I mean? Or at least he don't necessarily have to be in the ring anymore. He can be like mentoring the young talent backstage, like how they have Taker do. But they had Taker last summer on NXT involved in a short feud with Trick Williams, which I thought was stupid. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what are we getting out of that? Like, is he supposed to like put Trick Williams over at his age? I just felt like Taker don't need to be in the ring at all anymore. Like he had his time. You know what I'm saying? Like let him work backstage, and we don't get to see him. You know what I'm saying? But I just felt like there was some talent that they let go that they should have kept. Aleister Black they brought back from AEW, and they let him go because they have no storyline for him. And a lot of the young talent, it's like a lot of this talent that I've seen on AEW, like Kevin Cross was a great champion on AEW. The minute he goes up to the main roster, they had no storyline for him. They didn't know what to do with him. They let him go, and then he got pissed off, and he went on his platform and talk bad about them. And it's like the same thing over and over. It's like if you don't have a storyline and you're not a fan favorite, they letting you go. And New Day had a huge following, and they let them go. And I just thought that was bad by Triple H. I don't know what Triple H is doing. I feel like his hands are tied because of TKO and The Rock, and you hear rumors about The Rock. The Rock has say so over Triple H. And he's doing the best that he can, and supposedly they gave Triple H a new contract just to stay with them. But what's the point of doing that if he has no say over the both shows?
Yeah. So you got Justin saying TKO wanted New Day to take a pay cut, which I did hear, and that's why they walked away. But you have to think now, wrestlers are not nearly wrestling as much as the older heads. When the older heads were out on the road, they were home, I think it was like 20 days out of the year. There's a lot less travel, and TKO is really burning away with the house shows and all that, and they're really just relying on more of the Raw, SmackDown, the events. So they're also taking away that aspect as well. So now you're looking at, maybe 60 to 70% of the travel.
Right.
Now that there's no tag team really division in WWE, do you think that this is a chance for other wrestling? Hold on. Do you think this is a chance for other wrestling companies to really build on that and start dominating with tag teams like AEW?
For their division that they have for SmackDown, they have on SmackDown Damian Priest and R-Truth as champion, which I think I don't think manage to win matches. I just think that's not a combination I would have thought of. Like, let me put Damian Priest, former heavyweight champion, former Money in the Bank winner, with R-Truth as a tag team champion. I just thought that doesn't make sense. That means that's showing me that they don't know what to do with Damian Priest at this point, which is no surprise. I don't understand a great talent like that, who was also great in NXT. You have nothing else to do with this guy but put him in a tag team with R-Truth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And somehow they're the best tag team on SmackDown over the Street Profits. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? On Raw, they had the Usos be champions. Yeah. They had Jay. They had Jay.
What do you think the game plan is for?
No, go
ahead. My bad. What do you think the game plan is for, since Roman Reigns is canceled for the entire month of June? Do you think Jacob's taking this title?
They saying that he's coming back the end of June. End of June going into July. Yeah. And
so do you think with this backlash match with him and Jake, do you think that they're going to give that belt to Jake for a little while and let him have a run?
Hell no. Nah, you gotta. There's levels to this. It'll be a good match because I think Jacob is the future. He's one of the talent that they have that they're actually pushing. You know, with Trick Williams and with Oba. You know, with Jey Uso by himself, not with Jimmy. I think that's the future of the companies. It's gonna be a good match, but I don't know. They're not putting the belt on Jacob right now. That wouldn't make no sense. Because if that's the case, why would you have Roman beat CM Punk at Mania only so he could lose the title at Backlash? Backlash is not a huge pay-per-view.
Yeah, but again, with him leaving in June, who's going to really call out for the title?
Well, Roman has did this before. Like, I mean, we know he has was it leukemia? He's taking time off. When you've like held the company down for the last 4 years, you could do that. You could take time off. Because, I mean, even though he's on Raw, and to me, there's better competition on Raw, but nobody at this point right now is taking the title off of Roman. Like, Roman is going to keep that title going into WrestleMania next year. I don't see nobody beating him.
Okay, because I hear
he's gonna have his feuds with Jacob and with Oba, and you're not taking the title off of Roman. Like that makes no sense.
Yeah, that's what the internet is saying. That you know, a lot of people are saying that they think Jake's just going to take the belt for a little while, and make Roman look like, you know, kind of funny somehow, some way in the storyline. And
I actually think that it might be a twist in that storyline where Jacob actually joins Roman and the Usos against Solo and well, I want to say the MFTs. They got rid of the MFTs too. There's like one guy there with Solo now, so. Yeah, I feel like there's gonna be a twist in that storyline. I don't think they're gonna be beefing the whole time.
Yeah, the match is probably gonna end, but you know, there's so many different rumors, and then you know, the other one is with they're gonna start using AI now to stretch out their storylines. How you feel about that?
Why? What is the point of doing that? Like, why? How is that going to help the product? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you go to a wrestling show, you want to be entertained for the 2 or 3 hours that you did. How is AI going to help make that experience any better?
My whole thing behind that is that AI has no emotion. It doesn't have that. Like, AI will never understand like the excitement of a fan. So if you build an entire, like, you could build a script of a movie, but look how bad the movie was. Tarot. If you guys don't know, that horror movie Tarot was literally the entire script was built by AI.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
But there's no emotion in the movie. There's no characters that are really building off of anything besides it being a bad movie and bad acting. But you know, that's the whole thing. That's why they had that, you know, strike with the screenwriters, because they were trying to use AI. And thankfully that movie did fail, because if that movie was successful, imagine how you could have, you know, blase. Like I use AI when I write a script to help me find some of the articles. Like if I do a deep dive, you know, if you go on Google, it's hard to find an article because it gets pushed down as more articles come out. So I'll literally have Google do a deep dive on, hey, find this particular thing for me. Was it a rumor or was it real? I need to read a couple articles, and then it'll give me the links. I'll read the articles, and that's how I've come up with my scripts. It is weeks of tearing it down.
Right.
You know, the only thing I can't do that with is like a bar segment. I can't listen to a bar and then have AI translated to me on how I'm supposed to feel about it. You know what I mean? But when I'm making a rise and fall on a TV show or a movie, or if I'm doing a, you know, I can't tell AI, hey, I love this movie, but what do I love about it? And I think that's the aspect that's going to be missing if they use AI to really write out their storylines.
Right.
Because there's going to be no emotion. And we all know, we've heard wrestlers talk about this from the beginning of time that, you know, oh, Jay's coming on.
Okay.
You heard, what up, Justin?
Luna, what up?
Hey, what's up?
Salute, bro.
So I'm just thinking that they're not going to be able to have that feeling. You know, AI doesn't have that feeling. And a lot of wrestlers will tell you when they're in the ring, sometimes that's where they make their determination by the adrenaline of the crowd.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they go off of feeding off the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't put, you know, let's say Roman and CM Punk again, right? You can't put them in the ring and AI builds a story and says, okay, CM Punk, you're going to win. We don't know how, but you're winning. That's it. No direction, no storyline. You're have CM Punk win.
Right.
Well, how? What is he going to be doing? You know what I mean? So
I want look, Justin, how you feel about that though? Like, you think it's a bad thing? It's a bad move?
Yeah, I think so. I think it just ruins the whole like plot and storyline about wrestling in general.
Yeah, and I mean, are we calling the writers lazy? Yes. Do they go back in the well and redo storylines with different characters? Of course they do, but look at how long wrestling has been running. You know what I mean? Like, they're always going to go back to the well. Eminem can't make a dope album unless he goes back to the well. So
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about that Eminem thing.
Well, listen, if he's not going in the well with his mom and his girlfriend and all this shit,
he's at his best when he's Slim Shady, but he has made
he's made good albums
when he's not Slim Shady.
I'm just saying, a lot of them rappers depend on going back to the well.
Right.
You know,
the thing about how are they going to use AI though? Like, exactly how are they using it for the match? Are they actually have the AI call the match?
They're going to be having AI, from what I'm gathering, from what the guy was saying in the interview. I forgot who it was, but it's like some behind the scenes promoter that he was, and he's saying that what they're going to do with AI is build the storyline, and then they can keep feeding it every week on how the audience responded, and hopefully AI can fix it.
Well, it looked like from a lot of these storylines, AI is doing it now. Like, they have no storyline for Sami Zayn. They don't know what to do with Sami, right? Yeah. They got him coming out in a stupid gingerbread man outfit to battle Trick Williams. I'm like, this is what you're doing with Sami? This is what they're doing with Sami Zayn. You know what I'm saying? So that seemed like AI is doing that. It's either AI or Vince. I'm like, bro, they got to find something to do with Sami Zayn. Either put him in the stable or make him a heel or demote him to the NXT. They got to find something other than him dressing up in a gingerbread man outfit to fight Trick Williams. I just think it looks goofy for him.
Yeah. Luna, who you think is taking the match?
Huh?
Who you think taking the match, Justin?
Jacob Fatu and Roman. I want Fatu to win, but it's not gonna happen that way. It's gonna end like in a D. It's gonna end in a DQ. And I heard that Zola Fatu is gonna interfere in it. Like Umaga's son's gonna come in.
They've been teasing Zilla for like the last 2 or 3 years. They've been saying that.
Yeah, I think that's gonna happen, and then the Usos are gonna get involved somehow. It's just gonna ruin the whole match. It's gonna end like in a DQ.
Yeah. It'd be some funny shit if The Rock came running in out of nowhere or something like that.
We don't need him no more. No Rock.
I know.
Go do Mummy 4, whatever.
Again,
no Rock.
Again, they'll go back to the well for the star power.
They don't need him. Like, look what happened to last year when he was supposed to come out, and part of that's John Cena's storyline and him turning heel, and we get Travis Scott interfering in the match, and Cody loses because of Travis Scott of Mania. No, we don't need The Rock. No more Rock. Go to Hollywood. Go do Scorpion King Part 6, whatever you're doing. No more Rock. I'm good.
Luna, how do you feel about the tag team divisions? Like, how do you feel about? Are you even interested in those matches when they come on, or do you just kind of bypass those?
The divisions right now for both shows is kind of weak. Like, they got rid of MFTs, New Day. They had to bring back the Street Profits because there wasn't really any other tag teams out there right now.
Yep. Yeah, he was a part of the West Side Gun Federation, Fourth Rope promotion.
Yeah, and unfortunately, him running his own thing, but I think that was a huge aspect that they lost.
Right.
Is West Side Gun. At least he was a real fan of everything, and was really keeping people entertained for a short while. I just feel like I know with tag teams they got to pay them more because it's 2 people, so that's double the travel, double the airfare, double everything. But at the same time, I really think AEW should step up and really build a solid tag team foundation. And they could because they don't even have, yes, they might sign a 5-year contract, but in those contracts, if you look, they have 90-day clauses. So after 90 days, they can keep reevaluating their contracts, especially when you're not a big household name. So, and yes, I know New Day was a big name, but that's why they asked them to reconsider their contract and take a 50% cut, because every 90 days, WWE gets to go back in and say, you're just not bringing the revenue that we're paying you. We need you to take it down a couple notches. And there's nothing that you or your lawyers can do. It's in the contract. So they may have signed a 5-year contract, but it don't mean that they're there for the next 5 years.
I felt like the minute that Big E had announced that he had to retire because of his neck injury, that's when they should have broke them up. And they let them still continue. They went on like a last title run together. It was nice. It wasn't the same without Big E. Right, yeah. And then they turned him heel. Also, at the same time, they turned Cena heel last year, and they were coming out to the show. There was one show I went to where they were coming out and they were like dressed in all black, like it was a funeral, and they added the Aussie, I forgot the Aussie wrestler name. They added him to Waller. They added Waller to with them, but it was never the same. They didn't, like, Waller don't have the same chemistry with Xavier and Kofi, like they did with Big E, right? And I'm like, what are they doing? They gotta break the New Day up. So they should have broke them up even last year. But like I said, like, Kofi is a veteran at this point, like 18 years in the company, and you let him go. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's won. It took him a whole decade just to win a title, just to win the world title. But you know what I'm saying? But it's like he's won every major title. He's been a face for the company and an upstanding citizen for them, in and out of the ring, and you let him go like that. I don't get it. Like, out of everybody, I would have kept Kofi. You want to get rid of Kyrie. They got a whole fan club of Kyrie Sane, and people want Kyrie back. I'm like, I'd rather keep Kofi there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have gave Xavier his walking papers, but you let Kofi go, but then you bring back Paige, and you put in a tag team with Brie Bella. Who, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand it.
I mean, we'll never really understand what goes on behind the scenes, but I mean, we do in the Netflix documentary, but that's a year. You know what I'm saying? That it finally comes down. Luna, are there any other matches besides Roman? I know that's the big one, but there any other matches that you're actually really excited for, and what's your prediction on the outcomes?
Probably the Seth and Braun Breaker match, and everybody's picking Seth to win it, but I want Braun to win. So I want Braun to win that one, so like he can get like more momentum going into coming back. Like I want Braun Breaker to win that one.
Yeah, I think he's gonna win it.
Yeah. You think the same thing, Try?
I think he's gonna win it because like he made his return at Mania 42 this year in the Rollins match, and he spared Rollins. I think going into this match he's gonna win it. But I mean, you know, like since Seth been out, like since he came back, he's had this whole feud of against the division. That was like he was part of that stable and they turned on him. So he wants his revenge now. But I think it's gonna be harder now that Braun is back from injury also. And I see Braun winning that unless the Street Profits interfere in that match. But I don't expect them to, but I think Braun Breaker is gonna win that match.
Any other ones, Luna? Or is that the only two that you guys are really looking forward to?
Those are probably like the best two matches on the card because there's only 5 matches in total. There's that Downhousing match where he's supposed to have that special person join him. They said it's supposed to be Jelly Roll joining him.
They said
CM Punk, CM Punk was one of them too, but I'm like, I don't know. Like Danhausen is getting all the popularity right now, and he's barely wrestled a couple of matches, and they're pretty short matches that he's done.
Right.
Yeah. I think the gimmick behind it is funny. You know, what is it, $400 to wrestle or something like that.
Yeah.
I think the gimmick around it is funny, but yeah, it's not. That's not really one. I've just seen the same two that you guys are talking about. Are there any female matches going on in this one?
I mean, it have Io Sky against Asuka.
Yeah,
and they were like former Damage Control members, and you know they got rid of Kairi Sane because I was expecting Kairi to turn on Asuka in this match, but she's gone. So they got Io and Asuka. I think that's going to be a good match. I mean, I don't know how much people want to see it, but I mean, like I said, you got the United States Championship, Trick Williams and Sami. I don't know what the hell he's doing with Sami Zayn. I don't want to see him come out tomorrow in that gingerbread man outfit. I just think that's stupid. Yeah, they just give us a good match. I don't know what to do. I'm surprised they didn't get rid of Sami Zayn. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know what to do with him. It's like he don't have no storyline. When he had the storyline, he was in the bloodline. He's not in the bloodline no more. So what do you do with him?
Yeah. Anything else that you feel Backlash is going to bring, or it's just going to be a quick couple-hour show and that's it?
I don't expect no major returns. I don't expect no major returns or anything. I haven't heard of nobody. I think like after the big cuts last week, they're keeping it cool right now, and I think they're gonna like the big pay-per-view is gonna be Money in the Bank. That's the one that people want to see. You know what I'm saying? You do have I know they're building a possible heel turn. Well, not heel turn, like a face turn for Roxanne within the Judgment Day against Liv. People saying it's not going to be Roxanne. It's going to be Raquel. It might be both of them. I think both of them might turn on Liv, but I do see Roxanne turning on the Judgment Day, and that's gonna. I think she'll battle Liv at SummerSlam for the Women's Championship.
All right, Luna and Troy, I want to ask you both this question. So we've seen TKO has reported $1.5 billion in revenue and a net income of $249 million for the first quarter of 2026. Do you feel it's fair for them to ask these wrestlers to renegotiate their contracts? And would you be as mad if it wasn't such a huge pay cut? Because at the end of the day, it's all about business. businesses have to make money. TKO bought into everything. They have to make that money back. Not as much TV shows, not as much house shows. They're more limited. They're relying on Netflix and Peacock, to stream their stuff. More merchandising is coming. So I guess they're trying to break a couple of deals with a lot of the merchandising they have now. They're trying to amp up their deal with Walmart. They're trying to amp up their deal. Stuff's going to be more expensive on WWE, website. How do you feel about all this? You guys being really still big into the wrestling.
I think the business side is hurting the wrestling side. You know what I'm saying? When you see like cuts like that and so much talent being gone, it's like, why not get rid of both shows? Like, keep the Raw, get rid of SmackDown. So that way it's not two shows and you don't have like multiple titles. Bring it back to the old school where it was one world championship, one tag team championship. Same for the women. You got the United States title, the IC title, and you keep that way. You keep it all on one show, and then everybody's gonna watch it because you get to see your favorite. You get to see Cody and Roman on the same show on Monday night, right? You get to see CM Punk and Seth, everybody all on one show, and do away with the draft. We don't. I hate the draft. I always hated the draft because it's lopsided. Where SmackDown to me is always it always gets the weaker bunch, and the flagship show is Raw. That's why Netflix wanted Roman on Raw. They didn't want him on SmackDown. Mm-hmm. They want the big dog on Raw because they know it's gonna get the ratings.
Yeah,
right. And you don't need so many. You don't need. There's like so much pay-per-views. It's like the whole pay-per-views overseas. Who's getting up at 6 a.m. to watch that? You know what I'm saying? Like bring it back to the main pay-per-views. Royal Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and maybe you could throw in, when they used to have In Your House back in the day. You could throw in a couple of those or Saturday Night's Main Event. We don't need Backlash no more. You know what I'm saying? We don't need a King of the Ring and all that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's way too many pay-per-views now, and it's like people are not going to tune into all of them. They're going to tune into their favorites, especially if they grew up from our era. And WrestleMania was like the Super Bowl for us. For wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So and they gotta take it back to just the sports and promoting the young talent, because Roman is not gonna be here forever. Cody's not gonna be here. CM Punk is not gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take it back. You gotta start promoting your young future champions. Jey Uso, Oba Femi, Gunther, Braun Breaker, Trick Williams. Like that's the future. That's what they should be promoting right now. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they have everything around Roman because he brings the views. But there's gonna come a time when Roman's gonna be out. He's gonna be gone. What are they gonna do then?
Yeah. Luna, what do you think? You think it's just corporate greed?
It's somewhat. It's just the TKO. They're in control more than, because Triple H don't have full control no more. Same with UFC. Dana White doesn't have full control of UFC anymore. TKO is always in the ear of Dana White, and then they signed Nick Khan to like a extension for WWE, so he got a big chunk of that money. So they had to go somewhere and cut some of the people they're not using on the shows, like the MFTs, like New Day. They weren't really using them as much anymore, so they were just like, well, okay, we're gonna get rid of them or give them a pay cut, and they didn't want to accept that. So like it sucks, because the biggest shock for me was the New Day leaving, and then Kairi Sane, like, because they were using her every week in the storylines on Raw. So that was like the biggest release for me, was Kairi Sane, because they were using her every week. Mm-hmm. So like, yeah, some of it could be greed. Some of it, the one thing that bothers me at TKO is all the Saudi shows. I can't stand that they do so many shows in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. And again, sometimes I feel like they should do away with the pay-per-view and just have everything solid, locked in, and you have to pay extra on a Netflix, for that month. So let's say you want to watch Royal Rumble, you have to pay an extra $5 versus however much pay-per-view is now. I don't know how much that shit is now, but I think everything should be down to one platform instead of multiple platforms that you're wasting money on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you say to Netflix, look, 2.2 billion gets you every event that we're going to throw, and then you charge your customers an extra $5 or $10, whatever, to watch that show for that month, to watch the big Royal Rumbles, the Backlashes, the, Summer Slams, the, things like that. I think that they'd be more profitable. I think right now it's just corporate greed. It's whoever's going to give us the biggest meal ticket. That's who we want. And it sucks because I feel like that's why I stopped watching it, all the time, because the storylines were getting weak. They weren't using the women like they were supposed to. They weren't actually letting them wrestle. It was more sex appeal. And so all that stuff, like there are a lot of great wrestlers and they weren't pushing them. They weren't promoting them. They stuck with one. Whenever they got into a jam, oh, let's bring Hogan back because Hogan's going to bring everything whole, or let's bring The Rock back. It just kind of got to a point where I didn't want to watch it anymore all the time. So as a fan, I would love to watch it all the time again, but I want to see it all in one place. I don't want to have 15 different subscriptions to go and watch the wrestling that I love. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think it should be down to one Netflix. That's probably where they're making their money. All the business that TKO is bringing them with wrestling and UFC with ESPN and all that jumping in, it's too much. It's everywhere. And they need to make it down to one solid foundation and build off of that. You have to destroy before you can rebuild. And they're not doing that. It's all about the money. That's why they canceled all those house shows. They're not doing any more of those. And like Luna said, they keep traveling over to, like, why you keep going to Saudi Arabia? You got mad spots down here where it's going to cost you less because now you're not flying all these wrestlers to all these locations. Cut it down. That's where they're losing their money.
And they want to put WrestleMania 43 for next year in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're trying to do what the NFL did, like expanding and putting games in Mexico and Brazil and all that. But I don't think it's not the same as the NFL though.
No. It's an entertainment. Yes. It's a sport in its own way. But yeah, it's not the Super Bowl. And again, you're flying these people out of their time zones, and then they got it for a month or two. They got to get used to being in that time zone. And you fly them back and you want them to do a match the next night. And it's like, there's no real pause, no real break for them to recoup. I know when I work on the weekends, I look forward to it because my body can recoup. Right. I am up and down a ramp all day at work, up and down, up and down, up and down, carrying thousands of pounds. So I want my body to recuperate. And I don't feel going over there for one match, maybe once every now and again. Yeah, but not a whole month or a month and a half and then keep dragging these wrestlers back and forth. That's where they're killing their money. Do you see how much fuel is for an airline? Right. The first quarter, United Airlines just said that they spent $5 billion on fuel for all their jets, all their planes to be in the air. You don't think they're going to raise ticket prices to compensate for that? It's a business. Right. So, and they can't eliminate flights because unfortunately, we're talking about an airport, but they can do that in wrestling. Stop going to those shows and they don't even sell out. That's the crazy part. They don't sell out. So why keep dragging them over there? It's costing you more money, but they ain't going to stop it. I don't know, man. But those are you guys' prediction? You think it's just going to be an end?
I was
kind of hoping he was going to take the belt.
Nah,
for a little while.
It wouldn't make sense. It's too soon. Like that. That's what I hated about the WrestleMania 42 post conference when they got over talking crap to Roman. I'm like, it's too soon for that. Like he just got on to the main roster. Like, let him, he beat Brock Lesnar. That was cool. Let him get his feet wet. Let him get accustomed to the rest of the roster, and you can build so many other feuds with him before he gets to the big dog. I wouldn't give him a title shot just yet. It's way too soon for that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Luna, anything you want to say about wrestling before we head out of here?
No, I just think that if Oba does get like a title shot or anything like that, it would probably be at SummerSlam in Minnesota. If they give him a shot that early,
and he's gonna lose.
He'll probably lose. It'll be a good match, but Roman should retain in that match.
Yeah. Right now, he's just carrying the company. It's really. They're not going to get rid of him like that.
And he's giving us the best rest, especially on SmackDown. He's giving us the best storyline and wrestling matches in the past 4 years. Because SmackDown at one point was crap. I stopped watching it. And when they had Roman, when they started the whole Bloodline story, I got back into watching it again. And it was great. And he is giving us the best storyline right now. Where John Cena left off, Roman Reigns has picked up. He is carrying that company.
Yeah. I really think him and Cody is the other one that's really holding it down for WWE right now. But again, I heard rumors. The only thing that I heard is that the only reason why Roman Reigns is not, going there for June is because in his contract it says that he requires a private jet. And they said that they can't afford the fuel to get him back and forth on his own private jet.
Can't afford the fuel. Come on.
Well, again, I mean, a lot of money.
He deserves everything he asks for. Give him a jet, his own office, everything. A stake in the company, he deserves it.
Yeah, no doubt. But that was what the other back end of the rumor was, is that they said that they couldn't, that he had to ride, he had to fly with the rest of the wrestlers, crammed up, and he said no. So
Rock got that. Rock got his own jet. John Cena had his own jet.
Yep. And that's what he required. So
Cody has his own bus.
Yeah, he got his own bus, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was always like that. Hogan had his own bus. Remember when Lex Luthor did an entire run throughout the country on his own bus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's right.
While they were paying for that in what was it? Was he at WCW at that time or WWF?
I think he was. I think that's before WWE.
Yeah. So they're doing a whole tour run. The stars deserve their own. They built that. They built that foundation. They put themselves there. They wrestle. They give off the best matches. I feel that they do deserve their own shuttling.
Right.
But that was the other rumor that I heard. I didn't know if you guys heard that same thing.
That's
but
crazy.
They don't want to accommodate him for the jet.
Triple H got his own jet. Why Roman can't get a jet?
I don't know. Triple H ain't carrying the company anymore. So
he's not great. You're not doing great with the storylines out there anymore.
No, they need a new writer for sure. Since they don't have Road Dogg anymore for SmackDown writing, they need a new writer. I don't know who would take over the writing, but they need a better writer.
To me, they need to get. I really think they need to get a veteran that's not stuck in his ways and just come up with something fresh. I don't think anybody younger can really do it, only because they think of the fast, let's get as many matches as we can. So it'll be all this shit talking for 25 minutes for a 3-minute match. and then get an ad out there, get an ad out there, get an ad out there. Okay, now we're gonna do another match. Hurry up, dude, finish the match, finish it, and then let's throw an ad out there, throw an ad out there, throw an ad out there, because that's what it's gonna come down to.
Right.
That's what it's gonna come down to. Ad revenue is what makes money. You know, and they're gonna take every opportunity. I can guarantee you, what is Backlash on pay-per-view? It's a pay-per-view event. I can guarantee you there's going to be a lot of ads. A lot of ads.
Yep.
I can guarantee you at least 35 to 40 minutes of that show is going to be just ads. Yep. That's my prediction on it. Y'all take it as you want. Is there anything y'all two want to say before we head out?
I want to
try your Knicks going up 3-0.
Yes, we sweeping them now. You're not coming back on that. Go Knicks. The final. We going to the finals and we winning this year. I feel sorry for OKC. I want to face the Thunder in the finals. I want our team to beat the Thunder and send them home too.
They got the refs helping them, so they gotta.
That's crazy, bro. Like the Lakers lost that game because of referees. You saw that game?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, the refs were bad in that game.
It was plain as day.
They ain't doing that here. This is New York. We ain't standing for that.
Anything you want to say, Luna, before we head out?
It was nice talking with you guys. I finally was like, I'm gonna hop on for the first time.
Dope.
Yeah, man. Anytime.
Come back anytime, bro.
Yeah, we always leave a link. And I know that me and Triboro were talking, and we are going to be building a structured strategy for this podcast so that every episode we can incorporate both music, movies, and a little segment for wrestling so that we can give a little bit of something to every fan that caters to. Maybe they only tune in for the music stuff. Maybe they only tune in for the movie stuff. Maybe they only tune in for the wrestling. So now we are going to build an episode that will structure around all three aspects, spending 10 to 15 to 20 minutes on each and moving on, unless we have a guest on and then we let the guests do their thing because we have them on for a purpose. But other than that, if it's just me and Triboro, that's what this podcast is going to be. Every week we are going to bring you music, movies, and wrestling because, let's face it, hopefully it doesn't go down the tubes.
Right.
Because I would love to get fully back into wrestling again. But it's tough because some of the storylines just instantly turn me off. Instantly. And, you know, my oldest still watches it and he still keeps me up to date on it. But he said, Dad, it was tough watching that match, you know? So I thank him for kind of taking a lot of the grunt and Triboro for taking a lot of the grunt from me too.
I don't got a choice. I mean, if I miss it, I feel like I'm not myself. I got to watch it even if it's bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, Roman is carrying both brands right now. So
yes, sir. Yeah, he's carrying it all around. Anybody's gonna watch the real quick? Anybody gonna watch the Ronda Rousey? And
I'm gonna watch it.
Oh yeah, I am too. Yo,
Gina Carano. That's gonna be on Netflix.
Gina's gonna fuck her up.
You think so? You got her?
Oh yeah. Look, I know back in her heyday until Ronda Rousey, because I was a huge fan of Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Wrestling, no, she had no place in wrestling, but I was a huge fan of her when she was fighting and she was dominating the women's division, undefeated, whooping everybody ass. She was it. And then she got her ass whooped by that one girl, changed her whole entire thing. And I still secretly think she's scared of that. And that's going to happen again. Gina Carano is going to whoop her ass up and down that ring. My opinion.
Can't wait.
I can't wait for it. I am going to do a little thing on it after it premieres because I'm watching that bitch live.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. I can't wait. I've looked forward to them coming back because they were the whole entire reason I used to watch the women's division of UFC. was them too. They were entertaining. They actually knew how to fight. They knew how to grapple. They knew how to scrap. That is what I liked. And then they went into acting, and Gina Carando's got 1 or 2 good movies. She's like the Steven Seagal female of movies.
Yeah.
Hopefully she doesn't make 60 different movies. But yeah, and she's dope in Mandalorian. She was until they kicked her off. Until they kicked her off for what she said on Twitter, which is stupid to me. I don't think you should kick anybody off of anything for what their belief is.
Right.
But that's the bitch ass society that we live in now. Nobody can help anybody see anybody eat. Like, I'd rather, it sucks because I'd rather watch people succeed than people not succeed.
Right.
And not everybody thinks like that. When my people's drop shit, I want to support that. So, and we'll also have a review on Ray's You Gotta Respect the Hip Hop Legends. So I'll be watching that documentary this weekend, and we'll be giving a review next Friday as well. And we're also going to try to get Ray up here real quick to talk about it. But anyways, much love. Thank y'all for tuning in. Try, you want to say anything? Subscribe to the channel.
Yes, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share, all that good shit. Subscribe to my channel as well. Subscribe to Nick's channel as well. And this is always fun. Thank you, Luna, for showing up. And
yes, anytime, Luna, you want to jump in, man, just talk wrestling. When we do, even if we do the 20-minute segment every episode, if you want to jump in on it, I'll have the link in the description. We always welcome anybody that want to come up here. They want to challenge us. They want to whatever. They want to hang with us. Y'all are all more than welcome. This is
come on here and talk shit. I want to see your face when you talk shit about it.
You know that ain't gonna happen.
No,
you know that ain't gonna happen. Everybody's a Cheeto blogger. Sitting there getting fatter and fatter. Yeah, well, whatever. Anyways, much love to y'all. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Salute. Luna, see you. Thank you again for always supporting, man.
Peace.